element that I don't think business owners are really aware of, or aware of how it's going to impact them particularly, and that is the changes occurring at Companies House. At the moment, Companies House is the repository and the public record for all accounts, all information about limited companies. But at the moment, there's a lot of criticism because all it is doing is acting as that repository, and they're not checking any information, they're not validating any information. There's quite a lot of fraudulent limited companies information. And so recently then the government brought through a new act, which is the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act 2023, or ECCTA, which is meant to address all that. So what it's meant to do is improve the accuracy of the information held at Companies House, provide more powers to Companies House to ensure accuracy of the information they're receiving, and also ensure that they've got the ability to proactively reduce fraud, reject documents, check information, and make sure that everything is much more accurate, and there's less opportunity for people to put fraudulent accounts on Companies House. So what that means for businesses and what they have seen already is Companies House fees have risen. The annual fee has risen 300% from £12 to £36 per annum, but also the fees for incorporating new limited companies, for making changes across the year, those fees have increased as well. And that's to give them more resources to start building up what they require to be able to review the information they have at hand, reject it, and query things where they need to query it. So that's what's happened in 2024. So among the changes that have happened already during 2024 is that higher fees have come in, which we've just talked about. There's also additional changes around registered addresses. You can no longer use PO boxes, for example, and it must be an address that there will be a response from mail that's received at that address. And also then there's now a requirement to have a contact email address to which somebody, i.e. a person, will be able to respond relatively quickly as well. There's also been a more recent change, which is that company directors or the secretary, when they're submitting the annual return, needs to confirm that the business has not been set up for non-legal activities. So you physically got to confirm that before you submit your annual return. And what's coming down the line in 2025 is there's going to be a process of getting verification of every director, so that ID information will need to be gathered and sent to Companies House to verify that each director is a real person and that they know who each person is. Beyond that then, there are discussions around whether a profit and loss should also be included with the accounts that get submitted to Companies House. So no longer will it just be a shortened balance sheet, and for most companies, no profit and loss. There will be a profit and loss with additional detail being included at Companies House. What that means for businesses and business owners is that more information about your business will be available to anybody who wishes to log on to Companies House website, check the details, or even where there's a fee involved, they'll be able to download the information and perhaps get quite sensitive information about your limited company from Companies House. So this is quite important, and it will affect probably how you want to reflect your accounts. It means you'll need to be a little bit more involved in what your end of year statutory accounts look like and what's included in them and how much information is included where. So this is a set of changes that are coming and will impact all business owners and all limited companies. So it's really about making sure that you're aware of those changes and how they will impact you, or whether they will impact you in a way that makes you anyway concerned. So the best people to speak to, obviously, are your accountants. By all means, happy to answer any questions where I can and to give an indication of what is happening and when it's happening, although it's not all entirely clear when some of these new changes will be brought in by Companies House, but certainly I and my team behind me can advise on that as much as we're able.